What is up, people on the interwebs? I hope you're having a spooky day for this creepy month. We are back for some more creepy fun during this month of October, and our first creepy video will be focusing around Japanese folklore of yokai. So many of you may be thinking, what is a yokai? Well, a yokai is a class of supernatural monster, spirit and demon in Japanese folklore. Yokai range diversely from the malevolent to the mischievous, or occasionally bring good fortune to those who encounter them. I first discovered yokai by watching a few animes orienting around them, #no shame, but they really intrigued my paranormal investigating side. So today we are going to explore 5 of the most terrifying yokai. Just a quick note before we begin, I'm probably going to butcher half of these names, so anyone who is from Japan and I'm just butchering all these yokais names, I am sorry. I suck at pronouncing words so badly, but I will try my very best. But of course, it ain't no Halloween spectacular till we bring on the spooky atmosphere. So let's bring on the spooky atmosphere. Number 5, the Juragumo. The Juragumo is known as the entanglement bride or the horse spider. These yokai take the form of a golden orb weaver spider, which live throughout Japan. These spiders grow between 2 to 3 centimeters long, but they can grow much larger as they age. Some are large enough to eat small birds. These spiders are renowned for their size, their beautiful colors, and their large strong webs they weave. When these spiders reach 400 years of age, they develop magical powers and start feeding on humans instead of insects. They make their nests in caves, forests, or empty houses in towns. They possess a cunning intellect and a cold heart, and see humans as nothing more than insects to feed on. They are skillful deceivers and powerful shape-shifters, usually spending their lives appearing as young, sexy, beautiful women to lure young men to their doom. As the Juragumo, favorite prey is young, handsome men who are looking for love. When a Juragumo spots a man she desires, she invites him into her home, and he is never seen again. They spin silk threads strong enough to ensnare a grown man so that he cannot escape. They also have a powerful venom that can slowly weaken a man day by day, allowing the spider to savor the long and painful death her victim suffers. They can control other spiders, even employing fire-breathing spiders to burn down the homes of any who grow suspicious of them. What is shocking is that a Juragumo can operate like this for years, even in the middle of busy cities, whilst no one knows their true form, and hundreds of thousands of young men's bones pile up in their house. Definitely not a yokai to mess with. Number 4, the Yukiana. The Yukiana is a female yokai, which translates into snow women. They prey upon travelers lost in heavy snowstorms. Their bodies are as cold as ice, and a mere touch is enough to give a human a deep, unshakable chill. She is similar to a succubus. She feeds on human life force, sucking it from their mouths into hers with an icy breath that often freezes her victim solid. They appear as a stunning, beautiful lady with long black hair and pure white skin and piercing, deep violet eyes. Sometimes they fall in love with their intended prey and let them go free. Some even marry humans and live happily together with their new husband. A legend says a man from Yamagata claims that he had been married to a Yukiana. His wife was beautiful, with piercing violet eyes and skin as white as snow. Whilst he loved to take long, hot baths every night, his wife always refused to bathe, which puzzled him greatly. One particular cold and snowy night, he insisted that his wife take a bath, lest she freezes to death in this cold weather. She protested, but there was no reasoning with this man, and finally she agreed to take a bath. When he went in to check on her a few minutes later, all he found remaining in the tub were thin, half-melted icicle fragments. But don't be fooled, as most Yukiana are not this kind and gentle. Number 3, the Gasa Dokuru. The Gasa Dokuru are giant skeletons that wander around the countryside in the darkest hour of the night. Their teeth chatter and their bones rattle with a gachi gachi sound, hence why this yokai is named the Gasa Dokuru. If they should happen to upon a human out late on the roads, the Gasa Dokuru will silently creep up and catch their victim, crushing them in their hands or biting off their head. The Gasa Dokuru doesn't go looking for victims, but will kill whoever they find as they wander about. These yokais are formed when hundreds of the unburied dead with grudges against the living fuse together into one huge monster. They usually form after large battles or famines. Unable to pass on, their souls are reborn as hungry ghosts, longing eternally for which they once had. These people die with an anger and pain in their hearts, and that energy remains long after their flesh has rotten from their bones. As these bodies decay, their anger ferments into a powerful force, a grudge against the living, and this grudge is what twists them into a supernatural force. The Gasa Dokuru maintains their existence until the energy of malice stored up in their bodies has completely burnt out. However, because of a large amount of dead bodies required to form one single Gasa Dokuru, these yokai are pretty much rarer today than they were in their heyday, when war and famine were part of everyday life. Number 2. The Nepera Bow. The Nepera Bow is also known as the Faceless Monk. It is a ghost in human form with one exception. It has no face. Its head is a blank orb. This yokai blends in seamlessly with society. Its favourite activity seems to be scaring humans, which they do remarkably well. The Faceless Monk appears on deserted streets late at night, facing away from its victims. They usually appear in the disguise of a man or woman, with his or her back turned towards the observer. When approached, the yokai turns around and reveals its terrifying true form, reveling in the terror it inflicts upon its unsuspecting victims to maximize the effect. They often appear with a face at first, and then they wipe their face away dramatically with their hands at the most opportune time. What makes them more terrifying is that Nepera Bow often works in groups to scare one individual. As their victim runs away in panic from the first Nepera Bow, he runs into another person who asks him what is wrong. When the victim explains what he saw, this person replies, "Oh, you mean like this?" and wipes his face away, just like the first Nepera Bow. They are even known to impersonate close relatives of their victims, and sometimes a poor man will run all the way home, having run into multiple faceless ghosts, only to tell his wife what he saw and have her to reply, "Oh, you mean like this?" And this is why I have trust issues. Definitely a spine-chilling yokai that you do not want to meet in the middle of the night. And finally, number 1, the Kaigotsu. The Kaigotsu is a yokai found in Wales. When travellers approach the well, the Kaigotsu pops out of the well and curses them. A Kaigotsu is a ghostly skeletal spirit with only its skull and tangled hair emanating from its tattered clothes. These ghostly spirits form when a body is thrown down a well. This may include dying accidentally, being murdered, or if they commit suicide by falling down a well. The lack of a proper burial and the utter disrespect shown by discarding bones in this manner creates a powerful grudge in these bones, transforming the deceased into a Kaigotsu. A Kaigotsu lies at the bottom of its well until it is disturbed. Then it rises up to curse anyone unfortunate enough to be using the well. They are just out for vengeance, as they just want to gain justice for the lack of a proper burial of their bones. Sadako from The Ring is a famous example of a Kaigotsu. So, definitely a terrifying yokai, and if there's anything I can advise, stay away from any wells. And there you guys have it. Let's remove the spooky atmosphere. Definitely some creepy yokai that you do not want to meet. I love doing the research for this video, as it's amazing how much the legends of yokais have inspired so much media, and definitely makes you think about The Ring from a different perspective. But that was our first spooky video of the month. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave it a like if you did. But just remember guys, keep being spooky, and I'll see you tomorrow for another spooky video. Bye!